place for enriching your marriage.
Merge is not just another marriage group, it's more than that. It's a safe space where real conversation begins, where struggles are met with support and victories are celebrated together.
Merge has been encouraging and uplifting.
Merge has been novel.
Merge has been unifying.
And as a newly married couple, merge has been something we have never experienced.
We all know marriages can be challenging, so coming to the Merge monthly meetings will always leave you feeling motivated and encouraged to stay committed.
And I mean, there's so many things that happen within the marriage, but there's so many candid thoughts that are shared within Merge. And apart from that, it's fun as well, and so many different dimensions to Merge. It really helps you to refocus and enjoy your marriage.
Good evening and happy New Year to all of our viewers. Happy Sabbath to you all joining us. And we are so happy that you have decided to spend your Friday evening with us right now. And let me see a happy face now.
Yeah, happy New Year, guys.
I'm here joined with Jayden and David.
Yes, and we're happy to have you all on the platform with us this evening. This is the Merge podcast. We have an exciting topic this evening to delve or to sink our teeth into, and we don't want to do it without giving you the opportunity to share the link.
Yeah.
To click the notification bell, subscribe, do all that you think you could possibly do, and then some. All right, to support the channel, to get the message going out there. Kareina, what's the topic for this evening?
Topic for this evening is how to deal with in-laws.
Outlaws. How to deal with in-laws / outlaws. Last year, Kareina, we had a wonderful time going through all the topics of last year. We have a lot of stuff in store for our viewership this year. David is here promoting Ayak in a big way.
It's me cool, so.
Yeah.
So at that time.
Yeah. So we have a lot of stuff in store. But again, if you're just new to the channel, we're all about just uplifting the family and relationships. So if you have a topic that you would like us to touch on during the course of this year, we're still in the phase, we're still putting together the topics for later on in the year, you can send a topic and we would try to get treat with it. Kareina, David, we have our guru with us this evening, or not?
Yeah.
We haven't had our guru in a little while.
And discussion before the camera came on was going good.
Yeah. So you don't want to miss, you want to find out who that guru is, so you want to stay
we
on.
are not telling you all during this podcast, so you have to hold on.
Yeah, you have to hold on a little bit.
Yeah. You know, people started to message even before we came on. Officially, we have Jillian Ovid messaging, Happy Sabbath to the St. Hill family, the Merge family, and all other families present. God be praised. And Muscles 120 said, Happy Sabbath, Happy New Year. I believe the picture looks like Tevon.
Muscles 120.
Listen, the man is really German and thing.
Nice. Nah, that's a good thing.
So,
That's
big up
David, you make a
everybody.
resolution this
Kurt
year, right?
Chapman said, Hola.
It was already in, I just continuing what I left off from last year.
All right. Yeah, David on the resolution.
Hi,
Yeah,
Sabrina,
he just
to the Nichols family, all the way in the United States of, let me just say that. In Canada. In Canada, we welcome you all to the platform.
Kurt Chapman saying, Hola. Nice to joining us here on the platform, Kurt. All right. Hola, Nula.
Cool.
Happy Sabbath, sweet.
So we're gonna get right into it. As you know, as they say, the young people, they say, build up the life.
Build up the
You understand?
let's
And
build
we
up.
see the numbers building. We see the numbers building.
Daniel Josiah, boy. Big shout out
Danny.
to the panel.
Yeah. That was a real great
Happy
guru,
Sabbath
boy.
here.
Daniel was a real great guru.
Indeed, and if you miss Love Unlock too.
Oh,
you
yeah,
missed
yeah, but
something.
Daniel, when Daniel was talking, I was like, okay, this is time for me to shut up and you just make your Instagram videos, Daniel. He was really good. He was really good.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know what Love Unlock was or is, it's the #1 relationship platform
Yep.
for singles, adults, married people wanting to get married. And it was last year. We're going to have one this year as well.
Yeah.
Yes, we're going to look
So
out
stay
for it this
tuned.
year. It was at the Central Bank Auditorium. We had the lovely couple, the social media couple, Kareina, remind me.
Annala and Kunita James.
Yes, and they shared very candidly about their personal
Yeah.
experience. It would have been nice because they actually shared some stuff about their in-laws.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And David was on the panel as well.
Yeah,
They shared really in depth about what they would have faced with their in-laws, etc.
Yeah, and on the chat also we have Aaron Critchlow. Aaron, big up you. If you don't know who Aaron is, just check him out on YouTube. Excellent minister of the
Yeah.
gospel in song.
Yes,
And
yes.
Bevon Brown, how you doing? Philly Sabado. Yeah, bilingual folks in the chat too. Welcome.
We do have to sharpen up on the Spanish again and then one. Hopefully not.
Right.
Wow.
Sorry,
Wow.
guys. Sorry.
I don't know if anybody else is experiencing it, but my
Glitching?
yeah, it's sticking a little bit. If you all are experiencing it, you all can say in the chat as well,
Yeah.
so that we can know how hard to pray. And of course, the tech team will be aware to try to sort it out
Yeah.
while we go. But anyway, we're going forward. I feel impressed. Let's go forward with a word of prayer. Your heads are bowed, your eyes are closed. Father in heaven, we give you thanks, Lord, that we're able to come and broach this topic tonight, how to deal with the in-laws. Lord, you know that there are persons who may be challenged in this area and persons who may not even be aware. So, Father, we pray, oh God, that you'd open this topic to our mind, that we may be enlightened in how to navigate in such a space. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen, amen.
So, the question is, I want to start with the single man in the room. Because I understand people have been giving David talk.
Yes, yeah, Jayden, listen. So today when I posted the topic, whatever, people was like, 2 people in specifically, I'll call the names, Leah and Alicia. David, what are you doing there? You're not married, you are not in. Alicia, just stay tuned, listen to my advice, okay? Have your notepads out, I'm gonna, fantastic advice,
You're
okay?
gonna lay it down for you.
Yes. You'll thank me after, so just stay tuned.
So David, from a singles perspective, because we recognize that even though we're talking about the topic of in-laws, which really speaks to a married person,
Yeah.
as they would have caused the law to bind them as well. But even before that, before potential in-laws, the question I have for you as a single man,
Yeah.
are bad in-laws, which we would loosely term outlaws, right?
Yeah.
Don't kill us, right? We're outlaws. Right? Are outlaws a deal breaker in a relationship?
So as the conversation we was having before this, I can't switch it up. I just say exactly what I say. If it is a
don't
deal
have to,
breaker,
nobody
yes,
knows.
I know I switch it up. If it is a deal breaker,
Yeah.
and what I said was, depending on how much I love your daughter, that will be depending on if it could be a deal breaker or not, or how much your daughter loves me too as well.
Right.
Because if it comes down to a decision here, what is either me or your parents, which I would obviously not want that to happen.
Yeah.
You have to, if the person is like they're going on the side of their parents, that is when it will become a deal breaker.
Okay.
If the person is choosing me and saying, yo, my parents probably wrong, or which they probably are, if I realize they're backing me, you're backing me 100% backing you, and it won't be a deal breaker. But if you're on the line and you're on the fence and you don't know what's left or right, that will become a deal breaker because the role your potential in-laws would play is very important. Because from just observing the relationship my mom and dad has with either in-law, either side of the family, and how it's kind of seamless, like we could drop in by any one of our aunts or uncles on any side. I mean, every family had a crazy aunt or uncle, right? But generally speaking, it's very cordial and a good relationship. So I would want the same thing for myself and my children to come. So I wouldn't want that tension happening there. But yeah, my children to come, I did, right? But yeah, so it depends on the person. If they choose me above their family, not that I wanted to come to that, but they must back me.
Yeah.
You must back me as my wife. Yeah.
I just piggybacking on this, right? Does it have like a time within a relationship that you would decide, nah, this is a deal breaker? So like, if it happens, if when you start, everything is totally fine.
Right.
And then as the relationship progresses, and maybe the parents may have thought, oh, it will fizzle out, but it didn't, right? And they really start to, show their true colors.
Right.
Or in the earlies, if you realize the parents don't have a certain affinity for you in the earlies,
Right.
How early would you call a deal breaker on in-laws?
So before it reaches, if
Not
I
you,
see,
sorry.
yeah, well, no, that's okay. If I see progressing to a certain stage, I'll say, yeah, what my brother says this, right? I told Jayden before. You deal with your side, I deal with my side. So we'll have that conversation, like, love, your mother or your father said something to me, or your brother, whoever it is. I feel that was a little off. You could handle that, ask them why they did whatever they did. And would be the same thing for me as well. If somebody on my side of the family says something bad or off to you that might rub in the wrong way, I'm supposed to be the one to go to my side of the family and say, yeah, well, you see it, X, Y, and Z, you need to relax yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
And I think,
don't bat in your crease.
yeah, and I think there's validity in that, because when two families come together, you have to also understand that two cultures are coming together.
Yeah.
And Kareina may not necessarily understand its totality, my family culture. And so it is important for me to broach the topic with my family, understanding where they may be coming from. And not only that, it has been our experience sometime where you have to actually explain your family culture to the individual.
Yeah.
So somebody may do something, in-law may do something that may upset your wife or the husband. And I think sometimes, it's not that you're necessarily defending, but I'm explaining to you, well, in my culture, that is not a thing, That is not, that's just, so for example, we spoke about gift giving last time.
Right.
In my family, because you didn't get a gift for your birthday, that doesn't mean they don't like you, that just means it's not a gift giving culture. So I think allowing the individual to speak with their team, their family, and share can really help bridge the gap, especially if it's done in a Christ-like way, not to say, Ole, Kareina tell me, Ole, so, Ole, better fix that, shape up. If it's done in a Christ-like way, it could help your family be able to better understand her and her better understand your family as well. So I think there's validity in that.
And also for that too as well, I think you need to brief your partner or your intended wife to be on how your family is before she even meet them.
True.
So you need to tell them, yeah, well, my mom, she just see some real out of time and things sometimes. My mother could, Mom, I love you. But she could say some of the time. So if she says something all the time, and don't really take it too, that's the kind of person she is standing, right? But she loves most
nice
people.
lady.
Yeah, she's a nice lady. So you need to brief your partner, and, okay, my father, he probably a little hotter than things, so don't do certain things wrong. Maybe you'll trip off for that. So you need to kind
Brief
of
them and remind them.
Brief them,
Sometimes,
remind them. You have to coach them, a little training academy, how to deal with my parents. We want the thing to go good. Right?
Yeah.
You mightn't adjust, things mightn't work all the time, or it mightn't be a smooth transition, but over time things could get better in relationship between them. So giving them a proper briefing, and also briefing your family too as well. Time to relax yourself.
Yeah.
Don't go over the top.
Yeah. I know, Kareina, give me 2 blinks if I can't share this. I guess you'll only find out when I say it. Something Kareina had to...
Parents. Don't take it nowhere. Parents. Go ahead.
Something Kareina had to brief me on in terms of some members of her family is in terms of food etiquette. Some of them don't look at the food. Don't look like... Don't, some people don't touch the food. Like, if you're serving food, like, don't touch. And to me, that's a given, right? Don't touch people's food. But in her family, it was like, she had to say, it has certain members of my family. Don't watch them when they're eating, like, don't watch the food and stuff. It's kind of,
Yeah.
And
The belly will hurt.
The belly hurt or whatever the case may be. I respect that.
Yeah.
And I respect Kareina for sharing that with me, because I could have ended up in somebody's bad books by mistake. Because I was like, hey, that looking real nice. I was like, hey, how you make that girl?
Yeah.
Somebody screwing there, So I like that point that you made. the point you made earlier, you really say come and lay it down, boy.
Yeah, that's it.
Because I like what you said earlier in terms of looking at the fact how your partner, and in this case female, your girlfriend would side. If she would take sides with the family, or if she would kind of be on the center line, because that really speaks to a deeper challenge that will not only end in the relationship but continue into marriage.
Yep.
And the challenge is whether the individual, male or female, is an independent thinker.
Right. So, on that, right? Before you land your plane.
Yeah.
So, I think that sometimes it doesn't happen right away in the early of the relationship, because this, say your girlfriend or me or whatever, not me when I was with Jayden, right?
You are with Jayden.
I know. In my earlies in the relationship, that's your family of origin.
Yeah.
You're still enmeshed with them, and you know you live there, etc., whatever, and you're now learning this new person. I think that comes with time also, and learning who you are with. You will not automatically go, I don't even know.
Go on their side?
No, I don't even know. You wouldn't automatically go all in one time, show your full hand. I don't know, but that's how I operate. I had to psych you out, assess you, and gradually learn you and measuredly gain my trust and all of these things, And then as time progresses, so that's why I asked you, how early?
How early?
Deal breaker wise, if your girlfriend or whatever sided with their parents or you or whatever. But that's what I think. All right? I don't know what the people think.
If somebody in the chat could probably give us a specific situation.
Yeah. So we willing to take situations.
Yeah. Give us a situation.
Anonymously.
Anonymously.
You can just say a friend.
Well, you can say it's you.
Mr. Muscles is saying that, well, Declan is responding to if bad in-laws are deal breaker. He said that is true. And Mr. Muscles is saying the presence of in-laws can make or break a marriage depending on the type of influence and how their influence affects the decisions of the husband or wife. Kern Chapman is saying, psyching and meshing with fleshing out songs like the courting period.
Yeah. And I think, these contributions are so salient because really and truly, the studies show that in-laws can really destroy a marriage or make a marriage. So I think you can't be ignorant or blissfully ignorant about, I like the girl, I like the boy, I'm here really business for them, because at the end of the day, it's two families coming together.
Right.
And I've heard stories of where you get married and you decide to go and live with your in-laws, and you realize that that's a mama's boy. You didn't recognize that all the time, and everything his mother says jump how high, and where so much so he had it come like he never leave his mother. He in a relationship, he married now, but he moving at the dictates of the mother, so the mother could tell him when to do what with his wife.
Nice.
And who's sitting on in front seat?
Yeah, who's in the front seat?
Come on, moms, get it back. Sit on the back. If your husband was driving, I would have jumped in the back. You go in front, but if
mommy and she arthritis knees.
But that's something different.
But some wife would accede to their mother-in-law going in front for whoever if she have challenges or whatever.
I don't agree with that.
If she have challenges, she still have to go in the back.
Yeah, put it on the back seat. Let's not put on the back seat. I think, the front seat has a certain connotation to it. There's a level of respect.
It does.
And even if you give up the front seat once or twice, as my wife, I wouldn't want you to make it a habit of always giving it up to my mother. Simply because I think you're setting a precedent that is deeper than the act. It's the psychology behind the act. And you don't want to set a precedent where she is in the front seat. And she's saying take a left and a right turn. So now one woman can tell me take a left and a right turn on the last minute.
I know that ways.
It's ways. Wink, wink. But so I think that's really important, because I heard stories of even somebody going on vacation. You understand? Couple going on vacation, honeymoon if you please, and mother calling and the boy feeling like you sure it's a work call or something real dire, like your child back home or whatever the case may be, running to answer because mommy is calling. And mommy say, what we doing? And if in the middle of your honeymoon, you can go and pick up some souvenir for me.
Yeah.
And it's like, sometimes, those types of situations, you can really psych it out early if you're able to look and see in the dating stage.
Now, a good occasion where you see who in the family wants to exit the control of power. You see when a wedding is being planned, oh mate, it could go down. I don't find that should be centerpiece.
Yeah.
I don't like how I look in there. I don't really go with that caterer, my friends. Whoa. Thank you for your suggestion. I'll consult with my wife to be and we'll get back to you. That is because mom say that we should. Okay, mom sent a suggestion. Okay, well, we will talk about it.
Yeah.
Depending on how important it is to me, I most likely might not care. I might say, yeah, whatever, honey, go ahead.
Right.
But you see,
how much money you take?
yeah, how much money it is? Okay, cool. But you see, if you're dictating and your daughter just sending a message, we have a problem there. We have a problem. And that is a sign that is how the marriage can be.
Quite married to you.
Yeah.
I was like,
So here it is. I just segueing and coming back and going, right?
Kareina,
Yeah.
just before you
All right.
segue out, let's say, in East Indian culture, is there a term, what is called Ilukani?
Oh my goodness. Wow.
You better know.
If anybody in chat want to say, but in my understanding, the Lukani is it could be the mother-in-law, somebody who sleeps between the husband and wife or the whatever couple to ensure that they don't have intercourse before a certain time or something like that.
So in other words, they're placing themselves in the middle.
In the middle.
Okay.
So I think in modern culture, is it a negative connotation? Like if somebody call you a Lukani?
Yeah, I believe so. I think so. It's like I don't want to say the word, but yeah, it's like,
So
I know what we're thinking about.
a hinderer of attractivity and intercourse.
Yeah.
And
Everybody
those
know
things,
what you're talking about,
Okay,
but we ain't gonna say I would
Yeah,
not
yeah.
say it.
Understand? So I mean, in some ways, forgive my language if I use it out of context. But in terms of this Lukani, it is. I'm glad that our culture actually has a name for it.
We hope it's used accurately.
If it's being used accurately. If it's not, you can share with us in the chat. But there's a culture that actually has a name for it. Somebody who interposes themselves in a relationship to cause some type of separation or division. And that's a reality. That is a reality that we have to face and that we have to look out for in relationships.
You know something?
So
Somebody
you can segue just when you finish. Go ahead.
Yeah. Somebody was actually telling me when we were discussing the topic, they were actually telling me back in the day when the daughter-in-law, because usually it's the daughter-in-law coming to live with the family, right? The son will be there, the daughter-in-law will live with the family and stuff. That mother-in-laws used to beat their daughter-in-law and things.
Get them licks?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Somebody told me that mother-in-law used to beat because
two children now.
Yeah, this is my place, and sometimes a lot of times the daughter-in-law used to have to clean the house, do whatever. It's like a girl maid, right?
Wow.
You girl maid.
Okay.
And if you ain't doing your duties or you're rude, or if you perceive it as rudeness or whatever, they beat your daughter, and you really can't do anything about it because where you gonna live now?
Yeah.
I remember a situation when I was younger. There's someone in the neighborhood, let me just say it, in our neighborhood, and the daughter-in-law and the son was living in the house, but I think the mother was in charge of the house. The mother owned the property.
Yeah.
And this woman used to make it a business every single day to come and terrorize her daughter-in-law head. Every single day. She would walk from wherever she is, and listen, it's a long walk, It's almost a mile. And every day around lunchtime, she is by that gate.
Yeah.
But why?
Giving plenty colorful language to the young lady. And the young lady took it for a while, and after, obviously, things, she exploded and she just started to, I don't think they ever fought physically, but she started getting back talk, which is only natural.
Right.
So yeah, that woman went out of her way to make her daughter-in-law uncomfortable. And that's a situation you wouldn't want.
Nope.
At all.
Yeah, so we have some things in the chat here we want to update. Muscle said the presence of in-laws can make or break a marriage depending on the type of influence and how the influence affects the decisions of the husband and wife. Kern says, might be early, but the key takeaway is don't take on the in-laws and them. He also says, if they have bad knees, put them in the tray. Rashida, good evening, Rashida.
Hey,
She says,
Rashida.
personally, I don't advocate for moving in with the in-laws.
Okay.
I agree with you.
And Sabrina is agreeing also.
Yeah, I think if you do, and sometimes circumstances necessitate that you must, if you have to get ahead and you know, that kind of thing, if you must, try and have a time frame in which to do it. So we
Right.
stay in here for a year, we stay in here for 2 years, we stay in here for 6 months, as the case may be. But don't go and just settle yourself indefinitely.
Yeah.
And even in such a case, try and have your family within the context of the household.
Yeah.
So not because you're living under the same roof means that your family unit is now subsumed into the whole family.
Right.
We still make decisions together. My wife and I, we still make decisions without the influence of the larger family.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, everybody, we're going beach Sunday, take, whatever. I can't be like, all right, yeah, let me get be in trucks and let me go. No, I had to say, I will let all you know, let me talk to Kareina. And go privately. Do not talk publicly.
Yeah.
This is your family now, so you go privately. Say, Kareina, what you had planned for the day, what we wanted to do, what we wanted to accomplish. And according to what we agree, then we can know if we can join the
larger
relatives.
Larger relatives.
Yeah, because I was going to say family, but relatives, we can determine that.
A point on that, I understand, yes, some persons' circumstances would lend to them residing with the in-laws and such, right? If it be possible, this is just a suggestion, if it be possible, sometimes it really helps the couple, the new unit that is being formed, before you actually move in with the in-laws, see if it is possible to have some time by yourselves, like rent, for a little while to establish and to have those difficult conversations that would come with marriage, especially in the early stages of your marital union. Those difficult conversations, you know,
Get to mesh first.
storming and forming and trying to
Norming and
navigate and perform, all those things. You're trying to establish your unit first and lay down those roots so that when and if you decide to move in with the in-laws temporarily or be whatever it may, you would already have that bond together.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? In your mind.
In other words, you
and
form the
everything.
partnership.
Yeah, and then so you fortify yourself,
And then you move
you
in.
move in.
Okay.
And then you still operate, you know, in your own, but you have that
Yeah. It might be.
fortification.
Let me tell you this. It is so
It
serious.
saves you.
And sometimes you see, you might want to get ahead, but that dollar figure to get ahead might cost you your marriage.
Yeah.
Sure.
And you don't want to risk that. To me, it might be better off if you're moving by strangers. Like, you don't know me, I don't know you. We can hate each other for a thing, but you have no input in terms of my relationship. Even if you're moving with a stranger, what happens
When
psychologically?
you say moving with a stranger?
No, I just mean, like, okay.
Like, we don't have a personal connection or we're not that close.
You're
But you pay
renting
a
from
small.
a stranger?
No, when I say you're renting a little small thing somewhere, you know, and it's an uncomfortable situation.
Okay,
But
okay.
it's just a hypothetical situation to draw psychological reality.
Okay.
Because in moving in with a stranger, the psychology is now we
Against
them.
Right.
If you move in with in-laws,
Somebody had to choose?
is you don't necessarily know how the alliances are going to form.
Yeah.
And you don't want to leave that to happenstance.
Yeah.
That all of a sudden, my wife started to talk. She, you know, her father started to
That's
say,
a greasy
Jayden, so. And she did back, yeah. I tell him that long time. And even if you are agreeing with him on the matter, because you are now partnered with me, you don't go on that side and put your back to him and facing me and
You know what father tell you?
yeah. You know, so because remember, you're trying to leave Cleveland, form your own unit, and become one to be able to face the world. And I mean, Why, David?
Yeah, the question I was going to ask. Well, why do you think some family members might have that power over the new couple or a member of the couple?
That's a very important question.
If
like-
they move in or
Yeah, like everything, both of us talk here,
yeah.
we make a decision, and a while after you come back and say, well, you know, daddy say or mommy say this, and I really think we should go with that. But we now talk and we agree, but all of a sudden, another opinion came in, and you just switch right up on me.
It doesn't matter if you're moving together.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You're
So
moving,
that-
you're living. Yeah.
I think there are several factors at play there. We are talking earlier.
Yeah.
Tell them what you were saying.
Right, so one of the things I was saying, if a child is promised something from a parent, let me say, have a piece of land for you or whatever.
Yeah.
That could be playing on the back of somebody's mind, like, daddy promised me that 2 acres in my arena. If I side with David, he might think him that land, you know?
Wow.
So now David don't know that, eh?
Yeah.
Right.
But David just saying, like, why you always keep picking your father and your mother's side?
Yeah.
So I think that money, sometimes your parent or a family member could use money over your spouse head.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that could play a big factor that could destroy a relationship.
Yeah.
Because you realize, but this person's mother could almost commit murder and you were still back your
Yeah.
mother over me.
And so another thing that came to my mind in terms of answering that question may also be the lack of trust in the relationship.
Okay.
If the individual isn't trusting of this relationship, let's say they're not mentally at a good space,
Right.
they may be still holding on to mommy and daddy.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
in order for them to let go of mommy and
have to
daddy,
give them something
they
to
have
hold
to be able to hold on to this relationship.
Right.
And sometimes, if let's say you're not in a good space, like they don't trust you for whatever reason, you broke the trust, whatever the case may be, even though you're married,
Yeah.
then you can find yourself in a position where they want to hold on to you, but they're holding on to mommy and daddy
Yeah.
more because in their mind, this is a fail safe.
Yeah.
This is
Right.
the backup plan to go back home by mommy and daddy. So I listen to what they say, and it will kind of influence us because the way things going in my home every night we quarrel and everything, I might have to call daddy and mommy sooner than later. So all of those, that's what I say, many different ways and reasons.
And also, what if a parent plant it in the child head? Anytime things go by, they can always come back here. You know?
Nah, you see
You have a
that?
place right here.
Oh,
And even your own bedroom, that's
your
how it
bedroom
was.
will always be here for you, and honey.
Yeah,
Yo,
yeah.
That could be a problem.
I mean, yeah. And,
Go ahead. We
No,
had to wrap up
yeah,
this
yeah.
segment just now because the guru must come on.
Yes,
and we
yes,
want to
yes.
hear from the guru.
Full time. Shall I go
But
full time?
and also before we end this part of the segment, I also want to explore some other scenarios because we talk about living
Right.
home
Yeah.
and so. But I want to explore some other scenarios about how the quote unquote outlaws behave.
All right. Well, I was just going to talk about the chat. Josette is saying, hi, Josette, happy Sabbath. She met a young lady, and right here in Trinidad, she has been abused by the mother-in-law and the sister-in-law. Rashida is thanking God for her loving mother-in-law. Declan is saying, if your spouse wants to have a relationship with her family, but you want to be by yourself, how would you deal with that situation?
Read it
If
again?
your spouse
Wants to have a relationship with her family, but you want to be by yourself, how would you deal with that? I think Declan, you had to provide a little more clarity there. Joseph is saying, if you're living in the same space, see if you all can talk openly about what is expected in the kitchen. The kitchen is usually the biggest point
Ooh, yeah, boy.
of mixing and potential overt or covert.
Mommy cook
covert
food and wifey cook food.
confrontation.
or saying, turn from my pot again, David, you're big, your wife.
You understand?
Wow.
And wifey now learning to cook, so you're
This
sneaking and
piece-
eating mommy food.
This piece could have been started longer.
Somebody saying, see me and come live, Sabrina, see me and come live with me are two different things you can have.
Yeah.
You can have a good relationship with your in-laws, but when you start living with them, bad habits sometimes show up very quickly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kun said just like till that do us part. Didn't say who's that. Mr. Muscles is saying if the in-laws are married and you are not married yet, closely observe how they interact with their spouse or other people. Observe early red flags. Declan is saying things could start off good, but down the road things could change. All right. Okay. Have your own space when you're living with family. KDR Gary Stevens. And Arlene Josiah, good evening, Arlene. Happy Sabbath.
Hi.
How does one navigate the issue of a spouse being controlled by their parents without offending in-laws and your spouse?
We're gonna come to those answers
Yeah,
in the
Guru.
with the Guru segment. But before, thank you everybody for your contributions.
Yeah.
Keep them coming. We have a poll in the chat, so we want everybody to participate in that poll.
Should you move
We're
in
collecting
with
data.
in-laws?
Should you move in with the in-laws?
25 votes.
25 votes.
100% everybody saying no. Ooh, rough.
So yeah, so there are
The other issues
there
you
are
want to
other
have.
ways, there are other issues that you could have running with in-laws. What in our experiences, or not necessarily a personal experience, but what have you heard about there in terms of challenges?
Some challenges that could happen with in-laws. Maybe the in-laws want to control how you raise your children.
Ooh, yeah, that's a big.
Yeah.
Grandchildren,
Your
that's my
grandchildren,
grandchild.
yeah.
But
Don't
that's
hit
my
my
child.
grandchild.
Yeah.
And even some in-laws coming unannounced to your home and stuff and criticizing your home.
Oh boy, yeah.
Yeah.
Criticizing what you do, how you do it.
How your
that type
place
of thing.
looking.
Yeah. Wanting to have a say in
what
your
else?
life.
And I guess that'll be more like somebody coming in after, like the house and saying that. Probably Kareina, if somebody comes in your house and say that, you would take quicker offense than I think Jayden would take.
Right.
Because it's kind of shot at you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It depends. If it's infrastructural, it will be him.
Yeah,
If it's like other things,
that rugged
cleanliness,
match
it
that
could be me.
curtain, man.
Yeah,
Huh?
it could be-
Pressure.
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah. What else? What else? In-laws.
There are so many ways that in-laws, and just for clarity, we are not saying that all in-laws are bad.
No.
And we are not even saying that the in-laws who have adverse effects on your marriage, on your relationship, are bad persons. What we are saying is that what they're doing has an effect, and we all need to be aware of the effect. So somebody may be well-intentioned in
Right.
coming and giving their input in your house. Somebody may be well-intentioned in trying to tell you how to raise your child. Somebody may be well-intentioned in giving the son a little advice in the marriage or whatever the case may be. But we have to recognize that that has an effect in the marriage. And a lot of times it's a deleterious effect, it's a negative effect. Other than the alternative, leaving. So what we're saying is that not that because you're causing issues or whatever means you're a bad person. Don't take it that way. You're just having a bad reaction. We're having a bad reaction. But there are cases that I am aware that there are bad people with bad intentions.
Well, this is what I was going to say. So sometimes.
So what I'm saying is that there are different categories. There are good.
Right.
There are good ones. There are good ones with good outcome. There are good ones with bad outcome. And there are bad with bad outcome.
Because that is what they set out to do.
yeah,
do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then I
They
was
set
thinking-
out to either replace a spouse or to
Yeah.
dictate, maybe
Yeah.
because of their own insecurities
Yeah.
and stuff, but those things as well.
I was speaking to someone again, and they were saying, sometimes the in-law bad, right? Bad. And you want to be more bad than the in-laws. And all of a
Yeah.
sudden, you just bitter because it's bitter
Yeah.
for bitter. And it's like, anytime, they come around, you just,
It's a war.
you're bad John, yeah?
Yeah, it's
Who better than who?
And I don't think that makes
How
sense.
that going on? How good outcome going to happen?
You don't like me, I don't like you here. What? We ain't even going back and forth. Just pass me straight, you pass me. And we have that understanding. We don't like each other.
With your in-laws?
Yeah, we don't like each other. And we could agree. Well, I don't like when people say agree to disagree, but
Right.
we could be big enough. I don't like you, you don't like me. I will stay out of your way,
Right.
you stay out of my way. Because we don't have to bounce up every day. Well, depending now. If they're living inside your
Yeah.
house.
Yeah,
with you.
now then you need to find a different house.
Yeah, you need to
Especially,
find.
yeah. You need to find a different
But if
place
you are
to
living
live.
in different households and stuff, it could work. It's not the best, it's not ideal,
Yeah.
but it could work.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very important point that I just want to continue to underscore, which is sometimes you have to make a financial decision that will hurt your pocket financially to save your marriage.
Yeah, yeah.
So it just may mean that you have to move out that house. You may not be able to figure it out financially yet, but you have to do that in order to keep your marriage. And so sometimes that's what you have to do. You have to do what you have to
And
do.
trust me, you'll be saving more money in the end. Because getting divorced will cost you way more.
Wow.
A lifetime of heartache
And Josette,
trouble.
and before we we wrap and stop, Josette is actually saying in-laws with different religious beliefs may cause a problem, especially with children.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
serious.
when you're talking about the reign of the child, I think that's a discussion the two parents need to have.
Yeah.
And you must know, like in your family setting, who you'd want around your child.
Right.
And the influence they would have. Because you probably know they have a different parenting style to you. And you wouldn't want to per se, okay, we're going out, who we need to leave the child by now? We can't leave it by that one because she parenting style is going to train our child opposite to what we want or how we want to mold our child.
And
So
she
this-
saw they sell drugs.
Yeah, she sell drugs and guns.
Next thing you know, when police come, is everybody getting locked up. My child
and your 2-year-old lock up in the back of police. Like, Mommy, mama.
and he was a good boy.
Yeah, like, he really, he didn't even get a chance to be a bad boy. So yeah.
Wow.
Those are realities.
No
and-
offense if you're selling drugs.
No offense. Stop selling drugs.
Selling drugs. Please don't sell drugs. But yeah, I mean, we having a good time. We're laughing. The topic
Yeah.
is a scintillating one, but it's also a sobering one because
Yeah.
we do recognize that many people have challenges. Not necessarily with their partner, but with how their marriage interacts with the in-laws.
Yeah.
And so to help us digest this topic, we have a guru that's coming right up, none other than the great Sister Kizzy King Chapman. Yes, she is with us. If you don't understand it in English, I understand she could tell it in Spanish.
Oh,
too,
yes.
For those of you who had a hearing. So we're gonna go to a break. When we come back though, you're gonna see Kizzy, you're gonna see all of us. We're gonna greet you. But we have someone sent us a little voice note. We're gonna play that. We're gonna listen to that.
Nice.
So again, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
For 18 years, couples across Trinidad and Tobago have been rediscovering the joy of marriage through something extraordinary. Welcome to Merge, where love is nurtured, connection is deepened, and marriages are strengthened one couple at a time.
Whether it's our Merge monthly meetings, exciting couples activities, or our annual retreat, Merge is the place for enriching your marriage.
Merge is not just another marriage group, it's more than that. It's a safe space where real conversation begins, where struggles are met with support and victories are celebrated together.
Merge has been encouraging and uplifting.
Merge has been novel. Merge has been unifying.
And as a newly married couple, Merge has been something we have never experienced.
We all know marriages can be challenging, so coming to the Merge monthly meetings will always leave you feeling motivated and encouraged to stay committed.
And I mean, there's so many things that happen within the marriage, but there's so many candid thoughts that are shared within marriage. And apart from that, the fun as well, and so many different dimensions to marriage. It really helps you to refocus and enjoy your marriage.
And we are back on Emerge Podcast, and we have the lovely, exhilarating breath of fresh air, Kizzy King Chapman.
Hi,
Welcome.
everyone. It's good to be here.
Good to see you.
Yes. Good to have you. Good to have you on the podcast. I realize your name is King Chapman.
Yes.
So you have some in-laws. Alright, so guys, as we promised, we have a voice note that was sent to us. We're going to play it at this time. You'll tell us what you'll think about it. Yeah, so...
They're not hearing anything. Yeah, they're not hearing anything.
Oh, you're not hearing? Well, thanks for saying.
We're good.
All right. Oh,
Well.
man. Guys,
So sorry.
the voice note misbehaving a little bit. But
Yeah.
essentially, what it said is that a gentleman sent us a voice note and was sharing that one of the things that they would have had to do in their own personal experience was to kind of figure out themselves and have an internal conversation with themselves. Guys, let me send everybody on this now. Have an internal conversation with themselves to kind of understand what they are willing, what are their boundaries and what they would allow from what they won't allow in terms of their boundaries in their relationship. And I think that's a good place to start, because being aware of yourself, we are talking about just, guys, we always say that we must have a podcast after the podcast or a podcast before, because sometimes the time here is so limited, we try to crunch everything, but we have a good time offset. Maybe we'll do some outtakes and stuff sometime. But we were discussing about knowing your triggers.
Yeah.
And the fact that sometimes a bad situation can get a whole lot worse if you're not aware of your triggers. And so even in the context of a marriage, knowing what would trigger you is very important in terms of that. And so that's what the voice note essentially was saying. So Kizzy, we're gonna pose the question to you out the jump, straight off, how to deal with, we ain't talking about in-laws now, outlaws.
How to deal with outlaws.
Yeah.
First things first, you have to understand that there are some persons who are just relationally challenged.
Okay.
And you have to set your boundaries. You have to know what you want as a unit. And you have to know that you're married or you're getting married. And therefore there's a change. There's a change in your identity, who you are. There's a change in loyalties as well. Because remember, you're leaving a family space where you were a child, a parent-child relationship, and now you are going to be the head of your home.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Or you're going to be running a home. You're going to be a wife. You're going to be a husband. And therefore, you have to set those boundaries at the beginning. That's how you deal with all in-laws, whether it's outlaws or in-laws. The thing is that you also have to understand that what you want in your relationship, you need to foster that together with your spouse.
Okay.
Right?
So I have a question. Why do you think the in-law interacting in the relationship causes so much emotionally charged situations? Because it seems ubiquitous. It seems across the board. Like as long as the in-laws start to get involved too much, that it can start to cause issues.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. It's simple. People just don't like change.
Okay.
All right. So, Kareina and Jayden, you all had a personality before you got married. But when you get married, your life alone doesn't change, you know.
True.
Right? That family dynamic changes. So you do have issues with in-laws, not just mother-in-law, father-in-law, but sister-in-law, brother-in-law, etc. Right? You would have a sister who maybe you would use all of her hair products, or she would use all of her hair products. Then you get married, you move all the hair products where they are. They're at your home, right? And now she had to go and shop in Pennywise, right? So the thing is, and these things, they have like small resentments, right?
Yeah.
Then you have family systems. So you have, you know, things are done differently in families, as we talked about.
Yeah.
You know, things are done differently in families, and sometimes people, you know, you have these little competitions. You know, this is how we do it, and that's why, you know, sometimes somebody come into your house and they find your house dirty, or they find it, if they find it, you know, you don't pack away the wares, right? You know. So you get all of that issues with in-laws because of all of those differences, the changes.
Yeah.
And you also have a societal problem. When you hear in-laws, the first thing you think is, bad.
Yeah.
Mother-in-law is monster-in-law.
Monster-in-law. Yeah,
right? And your father don't like you.
Yeah.
Right? So as a society, that is just, it is normal. It's a norm for us to say, well, you know, we don't live good with our in-laws. When you say, I remember having a picture of my mother-in-law on my desk at work, and people say, you have a picture of your mother-in-law? Right? You know? So it's expected. But in beyond that expectation, you do have changes happening. You are moving from one family. Yes, you have made a decision, but when you marry, you really marry. It's families marry each other, right? It's that connection, and then it's leaving and cleaving. When you have to leave something, you have to make adjustments. And sometimes persons don't want to make that adjustment. Sometimes the mother doesn't want to make the adjustment. Sometimes the father doesn't want to make the adjustment. I mean, we discussed it where you would have those movies where the father doesn't like the guy, he puts him through all of these rigorous things and so forth.
Tests.
Right, these tests
To see if he's worthy.
to make sure that he's worthy, you know. Right? So that is basically it. Because of that changing and the changing of dynamics and so forth, persons don't want, you know,
I like that change, because you rightly said that it's not only you are changing, but the entire family dynamic is changing. So somebody now has to learn not just how to be a mother, but a mother-in-law. Somebody now has to learn how to be a sister-in-law, because the challenge may arise. Everybody wants their family to accept their spouse.
Yeah.
As much as we say everybody
just makes
wants their
life
family to
easier.
accept
And everybody
spouse.
wants to be accepted as well.
Exactly, everybody wants to be accepted. So it's a lot of pressure. And you're in a situation now, for example, thank God I have great relations with my in-laws, so I can say. But now my sister-in-law doesn't only have love for her sister, now she has to figure out what her dynamic with me is going to be like. When she comes into our home, what is her interaction with me going to be like? A guy that she didn't choose. You understand? She didn't have any choice in the matter. But in order for her to have a good relationship with her sister now, she now has to figure out how to not just be a sister, but to be a good sister-in-law as well.
Right.
And so I like that, what you said about change, because it's so dynamic. People now have to figure out how they are going to adjust to their new role.
Their new role. And the thing is that, especially with the parents, remember, you are living from a home where even before you get married, hey, pick up your box or some on the floor, right? You know, you eat, and then your parent now has to respect that you have a husband who is the priest of your home, right? And this priest, you know, just last week you tell them about putting the wares and boxers and that, right? So they have to also understand that the parenting aspect of controlling, because a lot of parenting is about control.
Wow, yeah.
All right, and especially how we parent in the Caribbean. And so that control has to stop. But persons don't know how to make that transition.
Yeah.
So the question based upon that is, that's one of the flaws. What are some of the mistakes that couples make early on in dealing with in-laws, and how can they avoid some of that?
They let things slide.
I
always say, don't begin something that you don't want to continue. Right? So if you know you have an issue with something, set that boundary right away. Right? You can't say, you know, well, you know, Kern, every time your mother comes, you know, she cooking, and I want to cook. Well, that doesn't happen. I mean, if my mother, Mom, if you come, you cook, you know, but I don't want that. Set it one time.
So you never tell anybody.
Right, because what happens is that when you let it happen, you know, they would say, but I do this all the time. All of a sudden, what happened? Right? So that is something that, you know, because it's parents. It's parents, so it's my mother, it's my father, you know, or it's your mother-in-law, so you want to, or your father-in-law.
You want
so
to
you want to,
you're
right, and you want to make a good impression and so forth. But then the more that you let them do it, the harder it's going to be to stop it.
Yeah. We have a question in the chat here. Declan is asking, should you change who you are just to be on the good side with the in-laws?
No. Well, anybody who knows my husband, right, knows that he is who he is, right? And if you know me, you know I am who I am.
Unapologetically yourself.
Right? Because you have to be happy. You have to be happy with who you are, etc. Really, in-laws sometimes need to know how to back off. In-laws, we need to know how to back off. Those persons who are those persons who are getting married, look at how your intended interact with their parents, interact with their family. That came up in the discussion, right? And see if you can be you with them.
Okay.
Now the thing is, if you have different religions, sometimes you cannot be you cannot be who you are, because remember, your religion is a way of life. Right? For example, we don't eat pork. Let's say you have a family that you are marrying to eat pork, and they say, "Well, boy, you never eat pork, half your life gone." And every time you go, you have to be watching to see if they have pork inside it, right? You don't drink alcohol, right? Or other things that are not so, you know. But that is part of the whole experience, you know, and we have to be, you know.
And sometimes, you know, you can even find yourself feeling a little bit off because you're now trying to justify your whole way of life to them in one sentence.
Yeah, correct.
Because, so why you don't drink, why you don't eat so why you don't drink Cokes? And it's like, I have to sit there and tell you about sister, why?
Caffeine,
you understand? Like, the best way, what is the best way to sum it up in this moment in a social context without giving you a Bible study, just telling you about my whole life?
It's against my religion.
Yeah, and then, you know, I know that's the truth. Sometimes you just relegate it to that. It's against my religion. Just as a short answer, but that gives a bad reflection of the religion.
It does.
Because then it becomes a religion of prohibition.
Well, then what you could do is say, we'll pick up this conversation another time. I'd like to have a Bible study with you.
No, but
And then you will not be invited to any more family lives.
I think let's go back to being that individual, being yourself, your family.
Yeah.
A lot of times, you know, we try to please our spouse because our spouse is saying, you know, oh gosh, it's my mommy.
Yeah.
It's my daddy, you know, oh gosh, just, you know. But we also have to be very mindful that we have to leave and cleave. That this is our family, that this is your relationship, that the boundaries must be set. And therefore, if you don't have a happy spouse, you don't have a happy house.
Okay.
So the two of you have to have that conversation, and you have to have that strategy as to how you're going to deal with it. I am the conduit, right, between my family and my husband, right? So if something is, well, in the beginning, if something was happening that upset him or he felt uncomfortable, I would broach it with my family, and vice versa. I mean, now 20 years down the line, I say, what's going on? Why, you know? But in the beginning, you are the bridge, right? You can't go. So I decide, you know, I don't really want to go to Tobago because, you know, his family, whatever. And so he go to Tobago and decide, see, she'd like to come here because, you know, she is get on, she can little. You can't do that. You can't do that, right? You have to allow your spouse to be themselves, right? And maybe talk to, you know, what are you feeling, right? Understand that your in-laws may have expectations, and it may just be based on culture. It might be just based on what they have learned from their in-laws. They had bad in-laws, and they just don't know what else to do. There's no book that says, well, there are books, but you know, right? And if for some reason, you know, you really can't find your identity in your in-laws, and you know, that connection.
You're not their cup of tea.
You know, you know that you're not their cup of tea. There can be diplomatic ways, you know, to be a part of the family and so forth. There's something that we said, you know, you're given, if them give 100, you give 100.
Yeah. Badness for badness.
Yeah. The thing is that you are you.
Yeah.
And if you decide to give the same energy, here and now, energy you give, I give in, that is going to cause a problem.
Yeah.
It is going to cause a problem. So, you know, there are some persons, and I'm not just in-laws, but persons who will give you snide comments. They're very passive-aggressive, right? Or they tell you how to raise your child. Yeah. Or they tell you, you know, your curtains and your rug, you know, not matching, right? You just say thank you for the input and move on, right? It's not important. Yeah. Don't make it important to you.
Right.
Okay.
Right? Like because the thing is, once you start to make it important to you, you're going to start to spiral. The next thing, sometimes just take things at face value. Because once you start to overthink,
I think that's a good thing.
You know, when my mother-in-law said such and such and such, what she really mean by that? What? Or when my mother didn't so what she meant by that? Once you start to overthink, and then all of a sudden in your mind, you and your mother-in-law or you and your father-in-law at war, and right, and so you're giving this energy. No, it's an energy that you don't like. Don't give it. Now it's easier said than done.
Yes,
but try.
Yeah, and I think very good advice. Somebody in the chat here says Kizzy for president.
Yeah. And somebody is saying, who is this lady who speaks with such intelligent eloquence?
Yeah.
Yes, your husband.
Who said that?
Yeah, so, you know, so I think dovetailing on what you would have shared is that I think it's okay to have boundaries, and it's okay to not be everybody's saltfish or everybody cup of tea.
Yeah.
And I don't think that your relationship should be tagged or labeled less than if you're not this person's crowd. So I don't need to be in everybody's crowd. And I have to recognize that. I don't need to be a fit every time. All you have a line, all you want to invite me, and And you know, if they invite
And don't feel no
somebody,
type of way if you're not invited.
don't feel no if you're not invited.
Go out somewhere else with your spouse.
That's just maybe not your crowd. So don't force a fit.
And sometimes
and I don't think that makes bad relations if I recognize that I'm not necessarily a fit in this scenario. For example, let's say in the case of religious differences, if your family owns a bar and all they like to do is drink and stuff, I am a Seventh-day Adventist, I don't drink alcohol and whatnot. It's okay for me to just say, hi, I passed through, hi and whatnot, and we'll see other times.
But you know, you can foster a different type of relationship. Now, you know, especially when you have multiple.
I like how you put that.
When you have multiple marriages and well, Kern is the saltfish in the thing. This one's the sweet bread, but this one look like the chana. You know?
What?
You know, just by themselves. You know, I know barra with it, nothing in it.
Okay.
You know, but you can foster a different relationship, right? You could be the one who, you know, calls every Friday or you know, into plants and so forth, just bring the provision, you know, wink wink, you know.
Or that
you know,
you help in other ways.
Right?
Not necessarily.
So even they know, well, that 7 days one, he don't come and don't drink with me, but well, who's that? Jayden? No, man. Jayden, let's go play with me and whatever. So, you know, foster a relationship that, you know, you can try to do that. I mean, there are some people, as I said before, are relationally challenged, right? It's just like, you know, you have somebody who's just bad behaved. There are some people who are just bad behaved. And, you know, don't let that engulf you. Don't take that on as it is your issue. That's their they're trying to deal with that, but remember that you have your family that you have to protect, and you have to make sure that you have those boundaries. Sometimes it is heartbreaking. Sometimes, for example, in my family, I'm very close to my mother. I'm very, very close to my mother. But I have to also be mindful of what I share, right? Because I may be upset with Kern because Kern tell me a bad joke, which, I mean, you know?
That's the kind of likeliness.
So, right? You know? And I go and say, Mommy, you know what that man tell me?
By the way, guys, Kern is right behind the cameras.
You know what that man tell me? Right? And I upset with him, and then she upset with him for me, and then I start being upset with him because
she's still upset.
And she's still upset, right? So we also have to be very careful with our boundaries in terms of how we present our spouses to our family, because that also creates some tension, right? You know, I don't want to say, well, you know, Kern come and say, he come in there and smile and laugh with me, and oh gosh, she just had a girl under pressure. He ain't washing no ways.
Boy.
Or he leaving his slippers in front by the door. You know?
Yes,
in other words, don't bad talk your spouse with your family.
Don't.
Because you might quicker forgive your spouse.
Correct.
And their basket still holding water.
And looking at it from the in-laws side, I think you should not judge a situation until you're in the situation. And so a lot of times, sometimes you may not necessarily hear the bad talk from the girl. So for example, somebody might say, oh gosh, she married is real hard time, but look at the girl lose weight or kind of thing. You don't know why the girl lost weight. You don't know why. She was speaking to her husband, she felt insecure all along and she wanted to lose weight and he empowered her, whatever the case may be. But what I think happens sometimes is that people look on the outside and they make judgments.
Yes, and they have their own perception.
And they have their own perceptions.
Yes.
And then they want to pull son aside and say, son, see that girl? And she not cooking and thing, you know, why she not cooking? I told her not to cook, you fast.
No, but, and then what happens is that, so you get married at whatever age, let's say you get married, I got married at 25, Kern was 29, 28, somebody, all right, give or take $1. And he was who he was, I was who I was. But after, in marriage, you know, getting to know each other, you know, experiences, we change. People change. But your family know you as a particular person. Right? So, like, you know, growing up, you used to like rice. All of a sudden, you want provision because you have wife. You know? But really and truly, you decide, you know, here what all these starters and things, you know, you are, right? So every time, you know, or They used to like to drink more beer, right? All of a sudden you're allergic, right? Because you're married.
Wow.
So the thing is, and you have these perceptions that that husband have her under real manners, or that wife have her under real manners.
So let me try you
Just
a
now wait.
curveball.
So all right, go ahead.
This one is to ask you quick off the gun. Who do you think knows an individual more holistically, a parent or spouse?
A spouse. A spouse. Unless if you didn't leave and cleave. If you didn't leave and cleave, then it's your parent.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you get married, but every time you have to make a decision, you have to check mommy and daddy. Every time you're upset, you go by mommy and daddy. Every time you have a question, you go by mommy and daddy. Then mommy and daddy is a confidant and so forth. All your spouse therefore is for conjugal rights. Right? But if you
I gotta get that dictionary.
if you leave and cleave, your spouse knows you.
Yeah.
Your spouse knows you when you are happy, when you're sad, when you're getting ready in the morning and you're doing that weird dance in front of the mirror. They know that person. They know the person who really is upset with Jayden. Right? Or say, Kareina, tell me something today, and if I was so upset. You're right? So they know their spouse knows you.
Yeah.
But a lot of times your parent does not want to let go.
Yeah.
And you feel guilty as a child because you want to please your parent. And then sometimes what happens is that because you want to make up for this breach in the family ties, you start to give them your resources, you give them your time. So they say, oh gosh, we need to buy a car. All right, say, well, babes, we have a little 15,000 here. How much do you think we could give them? And your spouse wondering, what? You say, we can get them 16, right?
Wow.
Or they say, mommy say, are going to the States for how much weeks? You have to take care of the 2 dogs, the chicken, the budgies in the back, and so forth. And you say, yes, mommy, anything, right? So sometimes what we do is we overextend ourselves to make up for that breach. But we really need to set boundaries.
I like that word, boundaries. And speaking about boundaries, in terms, the in-laws come and offer your family some money. Do you take it? If we do take it, how much is too much to accept? Share with us in that regard.
Why take any money? No, I tell you.
Bring the money come, the money's not the problem.
But there'll be no strings attached.
Right.
My answer is still no.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
Now the thing is, if you are, if your in-laws trying to pay you off for something, right? Then hold up, right? I know that there are some in-laws that you can't be all carte blanche with it, right? Because there are some people who would give it to you from a good place, right? Your down payment for your first house, your car.
Sometimes that's what they were saving for.
That's what they were saving for, and so forth. And sometimes when you reject it, it feels as if what this I put this in place for you. It's like having a trust fund. What are you going to do? If your parents had a trust fund for you when you turn 21, you're going to get it. You're going to say, well, no, I am now married. I am not going to take it. No, right? But you still have to set your boundaries even with that, right? But just know that you cannot live your life according to their rules. It has to be between you and your spouse.
So
but they would say then, ungratefulness worse than witchcraft.
And let them say it. Because let me tell you something, people say things, as we talk about perception, they're going to say things, they're going to perceive things, right? They're going to say all sorts of things, right? You don't have any children, they say, she's a career woman. Right? So therefore she doesn't want to have any children, right? You have 5 children, oh my gosh, they don't know how to control themselves. You have 1 child, they don't know.
1 child is no child.
No child at all, right? Everybody has an opinion. And the thing is, they're all entitled to their own opinion. There's something I have to say, noted. What? Right? You know what is the truth, right? And you really cannot change anybody else, not even your parents. There are things about your parents you don't even know.
It's true.
Right? You can't change them. But what you can do is protect that family that God has given to you. This is your family. This is your thing. As a man, you are the priest. And therefore, you have to protect that family. You are the house band. Right? You're not the daddy, mommy, in-law band. Right? And so you really, really have to set those strict boundaries, sometimes really strict boundaries. Sometimes the boundaries are for a time to just kind of, you know, to just kind of get things in order. I remember we lived next door to my mother. And my mother would clean by her, and then she'd come by me and she'd clean by me, right?
Praise the Lord.
No, I'm telling you. Well, yeah. I love the experience, because I hate to clean. I really hate to clean. But my mom was working all day, and then she would straighten up by her, and then she would come at me and clean. I said, Mommy, I don't think you should come across and clean, because you know, you're working so hard and so forth. And I didn't realize that she saw that as a rejection. Right? So the timing, the language, and also understanding why people do what they do. Mom was just trying to help me, knowing that I was also working very hard and coming home. But when I said, you know, don't do it, I didn't really explain to her exactly why, like where it was coming from. She just thought, you know, yes, I did say, you know, you're working so hard and to come and, you know. And so we have to understand that persons have backgrounds and traumas and other things, right? And sometimes they say things to, because we tie back to, you know, perception. They say things to hurt. They say things to get you to do what they want you to do.
Of course,
right? So take the money.
Whoa.
And talking about that, and we have to wrap up, guys.
Somebody is saying that Kizzy needs a whole session. No, she needs a whole session.
Yes.
Very good points and very well spoken.
I agree. I agree.
Yes. Sabrina Nichols.
So thank you, Sabrina.
She's also the one who said Kizzy for president. So what do you say to this scenario? In-laws are bringing or giving money. So you say, accept the money. But they're giving it to their child and not necessarily the family. So my father, my mother comes and they want to give money to, but as you said, it was a trust fund set up for me. And so they really come in, Jayden, this is for you.
All right.
Hold it. You understand? If it's in your hand, like almost like it's a secret.
All right.
You know, like the grandmother them used to get a secret handshake, and all of a sudden money appear in it. So they're bringing it, but it's not really for the family in mind. It's more or less for my son.
Okay, so I have a question for you, right? When you get paid at the end of the month, whoever paying you, right? Not paying it for your family, they're paying you. What you do with the money after is your prerogative. My thing is that any money that come into the household is we money, right? My employer doesn't know what happens with the money, right? Money runs things, you know. We need money. I mean, the thing is, I would love, if I could go to Massy with the love that Kurt and I have. Watch now, we go every month, right? But it doesn't work that way. So my thing is, and a lot of times we get vexed and we tote feelings for some kind of, what now? Kern, mommy and daddy Chappy gave some money and say, hold that. You know, we holding that.
I love it.
You understand?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we feel a bit slighted by things. I was looking at another program that was, a lady was saying that, you know, her sister-in-laws and mother-in-law, they didn't include her whenever they go out and so forth. But when the father got sick, her father-in-law got sick, they called her to a meeting because they wanted her husband to take care of his father. The husband was very, very close to the father, to his father, right? And she was linking the two things and feeling slighted that, you know, they didn't invite me to go out with them and all of that, but they invite me to come and take care of the father. And it's like, okay, yeah, but take care of your husband's father, and they're very close. And it's two different things. Going out alive and so forth, it's different to the care and responsibility of someone who's ill, right? But sometimes we lump all of those things together and we say, you know what, you told feelings, you this, you vex, right? Somebody give you money. If you get your salary, the salary comes into your account, right? Does that mean it's only your money? Financially, no. It's our money.
Yeah.
It's the household money. It's the family's money. So they could want to give it under the couch, over the couch, behind a tree, whatever. It depends on what you do with it.
Right.
Because it all comes back to your boundaries. What you can say is, you know, I would rather you give the both of us this.
Yeah.
Or why is it that you're hiding this from Kareina?
Because I was just gonna add, you know, because sometimes some persons may give money but tell you what it is for.
Yeah.
So they may tell you, this is for you to do so.
Yeah.
It's
You
for
know,
you to
this
fix
is for
the
you to,
vehicle,
you know,
but,
this is for you to do that.
Yeah.
And, you know, to some degree, how much do we honor the donee, the
Right.
request of the donee? I give you this fare to go and do so.
Well, if they give me to do a specific thing,
Yeah.
to fix the car, go by the mechanic and pay. Right? Because when they give me money in my hand, when Kurt and I discuss, we realize, okay, here's what. Yes, we need to fix the car,
But it's
but
the
it's the priority. We are going to prioritize the money that comes into the family.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you think, all right, here's what, Kareina Gill are giving her $200, $300 to go and buy a shoe. Right? Well, let me go down the road now, they could buy it for me.
Yeah.
Right? But if you are saying, here's what, I'm giving you all this money, right? Even if you give it towards the down payment, come let us go to the bank, right? Because you also have to protect your spouse. I'm saying you're saving money, but you also have to protect your spouse, and you also have to talk to your parents about their bad behavior.
Okay.
Sometimes it's hard. How are you going to say, well, mommy, when you said that, it was a bit hurtful, right? And you know, mommy might say, well, were you playing? I mean,
It's so sensitive.
It's so sensitive. You know, no, my mommy wouldn't say that. My mommy would get quiet. But you know, but some parents, you know, like what's his name again? David. Sorry, I'm bad with names. Right, David was talking about the bad mother-in-law, right? So some might be very, very very vocal. Oh, so you get a wife now. You turn man. You turn man and you're telling me what to do. Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
Guys, we have to put a wrap on this. It was a wonderful experience being here with you at the Merch Podcast, and we have with us Kizzy King Chapman. Before we wrap up, final question. What do you say? It's a two-part question. What advice would you give to someone who is struggling right now? They want a peaceful home. The in-laws are proven to be difficult. Maybe they have those in-laws who are just bad behaved, as we say. And that's one. What advice do you give to them? What words do you give to the person who are the in-laws and trying to navigate that space and finding difficulty?
It's okay to get counseling. It is okay to do a check-in in your marriage, right? Couldn't I do it? To see where things are. I know, putting a plug, merch. You know, you do have persons that are professionals who can help with marriage and things that are happening in marriage. I'd also say, you know what? Change your perspective. The person who is not the in-law, but the both in-laws, but the couple, right, who's having a hard time, change your perspective, right? Sometimes we're looking at the situation in one particular manner, right? Sometimes you need to take away the hurt, take away the tones, take away all of these things, and change perspective, right? Maybe lean into something different. maybe sometimes you have to accept, depending on the situation, you have to accept, this is a difficult person and I may have to step away, right? But the stepping away has to be in consultation with your spouse. And if you are the person who has the offending parents or the offending family, right, you have to show that level of support. All right? You can't just say, well, you know what, well, you can stay home and I will go and have all the fun and whatever, right? You would have to, at some point, maybe broach the issue, and hopefully your in-laws would, your family would understand, right? For the in-laws, back off. Be nice. Sometimes, it's not about you.
Yeah.
If you think that your son or your daughter is not being treated well, talk to them. Talk to them and see if this is the life that they want to live. They don't want to go for that promotion because they want to take care of the home. It's okay. It's the decision that they've made together, right? You think that the wife not cooking a sumptuous meal, leave him, let him or let her enjoy the meals, right? They'll reach a point where no matter what you cook, they'll eat it, right? So sometimes in-laws have to back off, give the space, because they also have to create boundaries. Also, if you have a good relationship with your in-laws, then talk about the boundaries, because yes, you do have good in-laws, but sometimes we have issues. Issue may come up, but keep those lines of communications open. When you do this is how I feel, even though I know this is not what you meant, but have those lines of communication. Let's break down those stereotypes that says in-laws, and you don't ever get along with your in-laws. Let's break that down and create relationships that are fulfilling and so forth. And then sometimes you can go through the brother-in-law, the sister-in-law. You have good relationships with them, and then it kind of feeds through to the parents if that's an issue.
Lovely. Thanks so much for sharing. Kareina, any final words?
The final words I'd have to say is what I heard throughout the entire discussion: clear, early boundaries.
Yes.
Someone said stand your ground, right? But essentially what I'm hearing is your spouse has to be your protector and also your buffer and that bridge.
Your buffer, yes.
Right? And also what I'm getting coming out, also respect generally. Even if you don't agree with that person or their behavior, you treat with the issue as best as you can and then respect them as a person, but then you put things in place for your unit to ensure the optimum functionality of your unit or your home.
Correct.
And just, you have to fortify your relationship. It's not us against them, but you have to fortify your relationship because this is the leave and cleave covenant that you would have made. So I think that is really essential, and it might sound cliche, but pray about it.
Pray about it.
Pray about it. And sometimes it's not that you're praying to change that person. Sometimes pray for yourself to have either that acceptance or that humble spirit or that tact that you need.
Or for God to show that that new perspective that you have to look.
That new perspective. So that transformation that can happen in you and in your relationship, I think that's important and something going forward that we can take out of the discussion.
Beautiful. You know what stuck out to me from what we would have all said this evening? I like the part about learn that when you get married, there's a lot of change taking place, not only with you, but within the entire family network around. But I like what Kizzy said. She says, foster different types of relationships. I think she said it perfectly and succinctly. You don't have to be everybody's saltfish. You don't have to be the lime in one. You don't have to be... But understand that you can have different types of relationships with your in-laws. And that is perfectly fine. Foster the relationship where you have the strongest connection, whether it be around plants or cooking or whatever the case may be, but foster that relationship. All in all, as we deal with this topic. We see some of you all saying this needs a part two. We will consider having a part two where this is concerned, but we just want to close out by saying God has designed families to live in unity.
Yeah.
Not just the immediate family, but He's put the immediate family in a context of larger support. And those are all mechanisms for the resilience and success of that family unit. Sure. We encourage you to take whatever steps you might, pray about it, talk to somebody, talk to your family members, talk with your spouse, so that you can build a resilient marriage, a resilient family. But remembering what was shared, you really want to set those boundaries, put those things in place. And last but not least, we can't leave here talking about outlaws. There are some really, really nice in-laws.
Definitely. Yes.
And God bless you all for whoever figured it out, who navigated this space well, who adapted really good, who understand the boundaries. You know that you don't have control, you know when to back off. I thank God for them. I thank God for my in-laws.
I thank God for my in-laws.
Yeah, some of
and
the
Yes,
best.
yes.
Yeah. You know, so some of the best, I mean, my in-laws
10 out of 10 would recommend. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, so I thank God for all the in-laws because they play critical roles in the success of our relationships and our marriage. So again, thank you all for joining. I also, while we're talking about for in-laws, thanks Kern Chapman, Arlene, Sabrina, the entire team here for coming out, showing your support. Remember to like, remember to share this so that someone can benefit. Don't share it with your in-laws tonight.
Share like tomorrow.
Share tomorrow or something. Make sure everybody is able to get a listen in on this.
Just before, it's just playing in my mind. As a bad in-law, so to speak, if you look at it, your behavior, while you may mean to hurt the in-law, your daughter-in-law, your son-in-law, understand that by interfering in the marriage, it also hurts your child.
Yeah.
So I think that I just wanted to say that because it was in my mind, playing over and over.
That's a big point.
Yeah.
So let's foster happy homes, remembering that we are always better together.
Better with you.
Good night, everyone.